Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, Arrow the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about why Americans need to stop creating career politicians. For those who don't know what a career politician is, it's basically somebody who's run for office and continues to run for office in various political positions of power pretty much their entire adult lives and then keeps getting reelected because people are fucking retarded and keep voting these fucking ass clowns into office, when in reality, they are some of the most corrupt and biggest scumbags in our society, is what it is. So basically, Mike DeWine actually is a great example of this. He was 1976, 9 years before I was born in this country. This guy became a county prosecutor, and with the exception of I think it was one or two election cycles that he took out to basically just chill and figure out what his political move was going to be next, is what it was. He's been in power more or less since that time. There was about, like I said, roughly maybe 6 to 8 years where he had lost. I believe it was either he was either a sitting U.S. senator or a sitting U.S. congressman at the time. He ended up losing re-election because he's a fucking ass clown piece of shit rhino, who was always voting with Democrats at the time, obviously. And then because of that, people finally were like, "No, fuck you," and voted somebody else in there. Then I think he might have lost to Sherrod Brown. Now I think about it, for U.S. Senate at the time. And then from there, it was basically, taking the time off, whatever, and then becoming AG of Ohio, and then eventually becoming governor now of Ohio, is what it is. Which, thank God, he'll be gone in fucking a year and a half, 2 years now. So, can't wait for that shit. But then I gotta deal with the fucking, successors, is what it is, then, which hopefully we won't have any of these assholes, because I can just run myself if that be the case, and hopefully make a bunch of money through this time period and stuff like that, and just be able to take down the governorship myself then for about 6 to 8 years, give or take. Which obviously I would do 2 terms, obviously, if I'd become governor, and do things the correct way for the state, make sure everything's good to go when I'm done with it, is what it is, and that'd be my entire time in politics, is what it'd be then. So, but anyway, so I do want to talk about a couple things right now today, though. I was going to talk about a video here in a couple minutes of this woman who I think was in a Detroit City Council meeting, not Detroit City Council meeting. She was in a Denver City Council meeting in Colorado there, talking about how illegals are costing her a bunch of money, and the dumbass Democrats that she voted for most likely are costing her a bunch of money, and then you got all these illegals basically stealing fucking food out of the food banks and stuff, which, first of all, they don't even qualify for that shit, dude. They're not even fucking legal in this country, is what it is. And I've gotten to the point right now of, I'm like, dude, at what point do we just start walking out on the streets right now and just start citizens arresting these fuckers ourselves right now, dude? Seriously. Because they are illegally here, by the way. They have no business being here legally. They have no legal right to be here, is what it is. And I actually heard this morning, how Georgia, the Georgia House, I think is what it was. If I can find that story again now. Shit. Where's that now? I know I saw it earlier here. It was talking about it. It was saying something about how he had Georgia House passing a piece of legislation to basically allow the cops and stuff like that to deal with illegals in that state. So, oh, Jesus Christ. 4 hours ago, CBS News ATF director and firearms expert. First off, Steve Dettelbach is not that thing. Neither is the other idiot in the fucking picture there. Show some of the weapons found on the streets. Oh, you mean some of the illegal weapons that were taken off of fucking teenagers and stuff like that, you jackasses? And of course, what are they showing here? They're showing a fucking Barrett 50 cal and a bunch of other shit like that's what it is, dude. It's what a fucking joke, man. What an absolute fucking bunch of bullshit, dude. Bunch of fucking lies is what that is right there. Oh, actually, speaking of retarded Democrats in this country, by the way, the dumbass fucking mayor of Akron actually had the audacity to come out the other day and quote unquote give advice to people, and he was like, "Yeah, fill up your gas tanks before the day of the solar eclipse or whatever, dude, because you're gonna have a bunch of people from out of state coming in here and filling up theirs and stuff." And it's like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. That's fucking common sense, you moron. Clearly, you don't have that, fucking Seamus. Fucking idiot. Fucking piece of shit. Islamic garbage. So, I seriously hate that fucking guy, man. He's been Akron mayor for like a couple months right now, and he's already done like DEI bullshit in that fucking place. He's already doing stuff specifically just for minorities in the fucking area, is what it is. And just fucking over pretty much every white resident in the state is what it is then. So, anyway, but yeah, so basically, going back to career politician stuff, here's what it is. So I was watching this little snippet thing here earlier. It was talking about Detroit, Michigan, and it was the destruction of Detroit, ethnic block voting, and it was like a clip of a longer thing here. And this idiot at the bottom here, this black dude, John Conyers, who's been in power for like pretty much since the 60s, I believe is what it was. Or at least he wasn't there for the 60s and stuff. He was in there between like the 60s and like the 80s, I believe is what it was, finally, when he got voted out then. And I want to say he died actually here some years ago is what it was then. But yeah, so this guy basically ran on the whole thing of like, oh yeah, let's give fucking free handouts to like, minorities and stuff like that. And he got reelected, obviously, even though he had mass corruption scandals and stuff like that throughout the decades. He actually had ties, by the way, directly to Black Panthers terrorism in this country. Where it was in that movie, I believe, Judas and the Black Messiah. They showed that quite a bit in there, where he was basically like best friends with these fucking people and was actively going to bat for these motherfuckers who were committing domestic terrorism on our soil, as what it was at the time. So, yeah, well, I'm not the least bit surprised that guy's a fucking scumbag sack of shit. But that's the thing, right? Like, who the fuck would vote for this man once, let alone 13 fucking times potentially? And that's why I'm saying, dude, like, at some point, we just need to have restrictions of voting rights in this country. We really do, honestly, in some cases. Because if you're going to vote a complete fucking retard like that into power, not once, not twice, but 13 fucking times, you don't need to have voting rights anymore is what it is. Or, a great example of that more recently is another fuckstick here named good old Hank Johnson, the motherfucker who talked about Guam flipping over. There's so many people on it. Been in power since 2007. Which means people in Georgia, specifically Atlanta, Georgia area, have been voting this fuckknuckle into place since 2006. So 18 fucking years, dude. Obviously not quite as long as Conyers, who was in there for 26 years. But still. Come on, people. You're going to give this moron the ability to get in there 9 fucking times already at this point? And he's done nothing for you. He's done absolutely nothing for you. He's made fucking Atlanta even worse now. And then, of course, what you have happen here in the last day or so, you had, where's that article I was looking for right now? Yeah, we have, there was a Six Flags open in Atlanta area. Person hospitalized after firefight with officers near Six Flags over Georgia, Cobb County police say. So I can pull this up right now. Grab this. There. It says, Atlanta, Georgia. One person is in the hospital after an officer shot them during a firefight near Six Flags in Georgia. Said according to Cobb County Police Department, Cobb Police said that the shooting happened around 6:15 p.m. Saturday. According to the police, 500 to 600 people were, quote, running through the park and fighting each other. Said Cobb County officers reportedly followed the crowd in the Six Flags Parkway when an unknown number of suspects fired at cops. Said police said one person was hit when the police officers returned fire. That person was taken to Grady Memorial Hospital. So according to Six Flags over Georgia, the shooting happened on nearby South Service Road, which is not owned or operated by their theme park. I'm not going to bullshit on that one, dude. Says according to Cobb County Police, so the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, or GBI, has been notified and is taking over the investigation into the shooting. For those who don't know, GBI, or in this case, where I live in Ohio here, it'd be OBI. It's the same thing. It's a state agency. Like Texas probably have like TBI and stuff like that. It's what it basically is it's a division of the Attorney General's office that is almost like internal affairs kind of thing, where they basically just take over like any profile like shooting like that or something like that and be like, oh, here's, all the evidence we're gathering and stuff like that to go get a conviction for the DA's office is what it is then. So anyway, So Six Flags Over Georgia sent Atlanta News first. The following statement in response to the incident went on a whole bunch of BS things, what it is. So the incident comes nearly a year after a large fight involving the what officers described as, quote, several groups of young people. Oh, we know what they really are, man. A bunch of sun people is what they were talking about on that one. As Six Flags Over Georgia led to the group being removed from the park. Yeah, it's so fucking retarded, dude. Like, this is why we can't have nice things. Like, this is why we can't have nice things. And by the way, these fucking retards are this fucking dipshit's voter block. Like, it really is fucking time to just stop having, like seriously, just start having, like, constitutional testing for voting rights in this country, dude. Because you know damn well, just like I know, a lot of these dumb motherfuckers should never pass it, dude. And I would say the exact same thing for people running for office. People like Hank Johnson, people like Tim Ryan, people like fucking Bernie Moreno, for that matter, even, should have to pass a constitutional test. And I'm not talking about just like low level and stuff like that, dude. I'm talking about whatever the American people would have to pass for theirs to have voting rights. Like if it be like, 60%, 70%, whatever it is there. Anybody running for office, you have to pass it by like 85 to 90% or higher, or they can't fucking run for office as it is then. Because that way you'd actually have people that would actually legitimately be in a position of power that would actually respect their constitutional oath to fucking office is what it is, man. And that's the entire point of the matter. So, anyway. But yeah, it's just fucking ridiculous, dude, to have these fucking clown asses in places and nothing being dealt with is what it is, dude. So, yeah, somebody's talking about that Nick Fuentes kid says crime is out of control and you cannot trust the statistics. It's from a year ago or so, where he was. So I got through a clip of him talking about the stuff. Not surprising. Like I said, that dude has some. He has some interesting takes on topics and stuff like that. But then again, he's also obviously a piece of shit anti-Semite is what it is. So fuck him. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's like that's the problem. If it wasn't for the anti-Semitic shit, like he would actually be looked at and probably listened to by more people is what it is there. But when you have him going all fucking full anti-Semite and stuff like that, like it's kind of hard to sit there and actually be like, oh yeah, people should go listen to this jackass because they shouldn't, obviously. But no, for real though, it's just fucking ridiculous entirely, dude. And then, like I said, going to I believe it was Colorado here. You had this woman going in front of a city council the other day.
I'm here to speak on behalf of the poor, the elderly, who are struggling because of the issues that you deal with and how you deal with them. So we're talking about a thing that's going to navigate people. I took a look at some figures, and I figured some people here might ought to hear them. If we look at Denver with 40,000 immigrants.
Okay, so I'm going to have to stop her right there. It's not 40,000 immigrants, it's 40,000 illegal aliens, lady. Say it correctly.
And we think that they cost $1,000 a month for housing. It's going to be $480 million for 1 year.
Jesus.
That's just $1,000, and I don't think you can get housing for that.
Yeah, no, you can't get housing for $1,000. So $480 million is what you're talking about with these fucking people. But it would be like at least triple that actually, because even just talking to Honda about where he lives and stuff there, and yeah, it's like at least $3,000 to $4,000 a month, if not more. So yeah, you'd be talking about let's see, 480, so that'd be 960, and then another 480 on top of that would be, let's see. Yeah, it'd be like $1.4 billion a year, pretty much.
If you feed those people 40,000 at $200 a month per person, I don't think that's possible today. If any of you have gone to the grocery store, that's 96 million in a year.
Yep.
We are headed for a tsunami. I don't think you know what you're heading at. The total of that, $576 million. Your budget, if I am correct, and I Googled it, I might be wrong, is only $72 million. I ask you how you think you're going to afford it.
Oh, they're not going to put on taxpayers.
Now, I'm not sure I'm correct on all those numbers, but they're pretty close. Now, personally, I live on a budget of $30,000. My husband was a school teacher, and I worked for Jefferson County, and I had a disability, and we had to quit. We had our advisors, and they assured us that we were going to have enough money to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you how I survive on $30,000. You have done such wonderful work with your housing that you have caused my taxes to go up to $4,000. Oops, I'm getting really close. $3,000 for insurance, $3,000 for my car, $10,000 extra. Take that out, and I live on $20,000. Now, I have to go to get clothing from the Goodwill. Now I'm so poor, I have to repair the clothing. I go to the food bank, and I'll tell you what I see. I see immigrants coming in.
Illegal aliens, lady, say it correctly.
Jostling and pushing us out.
Replacing you?
Cut line, take more food than they're required to do.
Of course they're going to take more because they're seriously, people. These fucking people don't give a shit about the rule of law. Why the fuck do you think they're going to actually respect the fucking actual guidelines of like, okay, you get one thing of bread, you get one thing of fucking eggs, you get one thing of fucking milk, whatever the case. You know, they're going to take fucking 3 or 4 of those things and run out with the shit, dude. That's why you boot them the fuck out of this country, goddammit. It's as simple as that, man. Kick them out of their fucking asses at gunpoint if it comes to it at this point, honestly, in history. That's what it's coming to real quick, dude, is gunpoint fucking tyranny.
And our poor staff that deals with those things are out of their ever-loving mind trying to figure out how they're going to handle it.
They're not. That's the point.
Yeah. You ask how I'm coping? For God's sakes, help me.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck, dude. That's the point. And that's exactly why, honestly, like, recall voting needs to be a thing in every state in this country. And we need to have auto disqualification off at this point in history, dude, for real. Because, truthfully speaking, you have these people, you have these city councils, you have these fucking mayors, you have these governors, you have these different state houses, etc., run by Democrats, obviously, in many cases. Specifically, Colorado is there. They're allowing this shit to go on in their sanctuary state is what it is. At what point in time in history do the people of that state, do the people of this country simply remove these fuckers by force at this point, dude? For high treason against the American people. Because that's the truth of the matter. They have openly committed high treason against us, dude. When they are openly allowing illegals to come into our states to take fucking food out of our goddamn mouths and put it in their fucking hands, when they have no legal right to be here in the fucking first place, when they are openly committing fucking felonies just by simply illegally crossing our border, at what point is there going to be a fucking army rising? At what point is there going to be an actual militia of Americans coming together and simply forcing these fuckers back out of our country? What it is. All these fighting age males is what it is, dude. That's the real deal. It'd be one thing, right? It would be one thing if you had a flow of people, but then you stop the flow eventually. You know, you have to have it like a cap is what it is. It would be one thing if it was like, okay, you know, here's, 500 families that we're going to forced assimilate into this country, and they're going to learn to speak English. They're going to learn to, abide by our fucking cultures and actually melt in the melting pot of America, right? That's not what's happening, though. What's happening is it's not men, women, and children coming in together. It's not a family of 4 or 5, whatever it is, coming together. No, it's fucking groups of 30, 40, 50, 100 deep each or more, all fighting age males from any place from El Salvador to Venezuela to fucking Nicaragua to different parts of the Congo and Congolese and stuff like that, and all kinds of other African nations, the Ivory Coast, etc., been coming over here now. to various Middle Eastern countries where you got fucking literally dudes showing up at the fucking border in 511 tactical gear the other day from fucking Syria. And it's like, dude, these people are not here to assimilate. They are here to take over. They are literally a fucking foreign standing army, damn it. And I'm fucking sick and tired of it. At what point does the U.S. military themselves say fuck Biden and fuck the goddamn Democrat Party at this point and take their fucking asses down to the border and start dealing with this shit as it needs to be fucking dealt with at the barrel of a fucking firearm, at the barrel of a fucking tank, etc. Drones across the fucking border. A no-go fucking zone within like 100 miles each side or something like that, dude. Where you just put up a bunch of fucking speakers in like 20 different languages and be like, hey, you come any closer, you're going to get shot. You know? Like, oh, you're actively entering an active landmine field right now. Seriously. You know? Or better yet, in some cases, let me see if I can find the picture here real quick now. Had it here the other day, and now I'm trying to find it again. Yeah, here we go. Or better yet, when it comes to securing our border, how about we actually deal with it the correct way? You know, you go and get us some border gators, man. Yeah. Old border gator here for the border patrol job. Throw a bunch of those fuckers into the various rivers and shit, dude. I guarantee you're not gonna have illegals fucking crossing rivers and shit anymore, dude. So when it's the threat of a fucking gator eating their ass at that point. And that's the thing. You know? Hell, I remember I was looking at stuff the other day here, and they were talking about then it was some random fucking guy who was a border patrol agent there or whatever, who found like 5 or 6 unaccompanied kids is what it was, and they were supposedly unaccompanied minors. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but supposedly they were. And they all had various addresses for New York State, and specifically New York City areas, what it was, dude, to take them to. And it's like, why are we letting these fucking kids come in? No, send them back to where the fuck they came from, to their fucking shithead parents is what it is, dude. They're paying these fucking cartel gangbangers and fucking smugglers, coyotes, etc. a bunch of money to bring them here in the fucking first place. No, fuck that, man. They have no legal right to be here. Nobody does. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous is what it is, dude. And it's getting more and more to the point where we are definitely heading for bad times ahead. Holy shit, man. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to post, I'm not going to show this obviously on camera because I don't think it would be, I think it would break TOS is what it is. So I'll simply send it to the networks page there on X. You can see it for yourself. It's labeled as let's check out the Atlanta last night at Six Flags, Georgia. Yeah, and there's literally like 10 fights going on then. It's fucking nuts, dude. Absolutely insane, dude. Yeah, as the BIPOC doing racism guy said, so whenever I'm in public, actually, let me just go ahead and simply screenshot what was said there, which is right there. Yeah, I don't disagree with it, honestly, dude. And that's the thing, right? And what I think he means is like, you know, it's like a group of people coming in there is what it is, dude. Which, yeah, I mean, I don't give a fuck what race they are at that point, dude. If I see a like group of like 10 people walking into a convenience store that I'm gonna know whatever the case be, dude, like my attention immediately shifts to that big ass group of people, and it's like, oh, are they gonna steal a bunch of shit? Like, again, it could be a group of fucking white teens for that matter, for all the fuck I care, dude. And it's like, yeah, like I'm gonna be eyeballing these motherfuckers the entire time I'm in there to make sure they're not gonna try to attack me or fucking hurt me or whatever the case be then. So But yeah, it's a bunch of shit, dude, entirely. Oh, and then you got fucking piece of shit, Merrick Garland, breaking. Merrick Garland announces that Biden's DOJ is working to end voter ID laws. Yeah, you can't fucking do that, asshole. You literally can't. You legally fucking can't. We'll see your asses in court over that one, fuck boy. First of all, Garland has no fucking legal authority there because Biden has no fucking legal authority because Biden's a fucking cheater and he appointed Garland. So neither man has any actual authority to do anything at this point, dude. So it's time for us to stop allowing these fuckers to do a goddamn thing is what it is. So. Damn, that was a pretty good one. So this white guy lays out thug squaring up to attack him to prevent black and white violence, preempt it. Yeah, exactly. Take out the threat. Well, it's fucking right there is what it is. So. Holy shit, bro. Huh. So apparently California is getting like a massive snowstorm right now in certain places like Sierra Nevadas and stuff like that, which makes sense because that was where the Donner Party actually had their final days there. Yeah, California getting wrecked with a massive snowstorm with winds reaching up to 190 miles an hour. Holy fuck, dude. That's like some hurricane tsunami level shit right there, for real. And estimates of more than 10 feet of snow. Conditions were so bad that hundreds of vehicles got stuck overnight on I-80. Let's see what else it says. Some reports estimate the weekend snowfall will reach 12 feet with another couple feet expected early next week. Jesus, bro. I couldn't even imagine that right there, dude. Like, because I've had something similar to this before where it's like, let me go ahead and pop that back again now where there's people open the door there. So right where the bottom part of the door is, right below the windows and stuff right there. Or maybe it was actually up to the window, I guess. So it'd be like maybe about 2-3 feet there is what it is then. I've had stuff like that out front here several years ago because it drifted up on the porch. There's what it was. And yeah, it took us days to get out of the house is what it was, man. And I could only imagine like, you know, this where it's like the entire fucking doorway where it's like 6-7 feet tall is what it is then. Like like I said, we couldn't even barely get out with like 2 to 3 feet is what it is with a snow drift. I couldn't even imagine having all this, but it's not even a snow drift, dude. It's like this is a snow pack because it's like this is all packed together there, and then everything behind it is just like a giant wall of snow is what it is there. So yeah, you want to talk about being snowbound, like and having like cabin fever and shit, dude. Like holy fuck, bro. Oh my god, dude. I could not even imagine. I could not even imagine on that one. That is fucking wild, man. Jesus. Yeah, that's also a great reason, by the way, if you're going to go out like that. Well, first off, don't go out like that. That's what it is, though. But seriously, man, if you're going to be out in like a snowstorm or something like that, my 3 best pieces of advice in your vehicle: have food, have water. So those 2 things are guaranteed. So food, extra food and extra water with you. But also, to a more prevalent extent, have blankets. And I'm not talking about just like some like random blanket. I'm talking about like heavy duty shit. I'm talking about like what I have right here behind me, which is a thermal throw, basically. I'm talking about like several of these packed away. Because if you can layer up with those in you, like basically you pop your jacket off or whatever, and then you pop one of those on you, and you pop your jacket back on or whatever the case be, and then you put like another one over top. Like those will keep you warm and from getting like frostbite and stuff. But if you don't have that kind of stuff, dude, like you could easily risk frostbite, you could easily risk hypothermia and stuff like that's what it is. And that's the last thing you want to have in that kind of situation. But yeah, it's best not to just do anything at that point, especially just stay where you are. If you can stay where you are. But yeah, if you're not in danger or whatever the case be, and you can actually get away with whatever then yeah, man, definitely 100%. Do what needs to be done and just stay put in place basically and just have, things ready to roll. That's what it is. But if you have to leave or whatever the case be, then, be smart about it and have extra food, have extra water, have extra clothing / blankets with you. Extra thermal stuff is what it is actually. Because if you don't have that kind of stuff, you're probably fucked at some point, and it's not going to be good for you at all. You're probably going to die in the situation. Because the thing is, even being stuck on an interstate and stuff like that, like we've seen this before many times, honestly, dude, over the years, in other states for that matter, where people have been stuck out there for hours to days at a time, honestly, and they had to intermediately run their vehicles to stay warm and stuff like that. And of course, they ran out of gas eventually, and yeah, they almost froze to death. What it was, dude. So that's why it's smart to be prepared, is what it is. And the best preparation is knowing that something's about to come and actually paying attention to the weather is what it is, the weather reports, etc. there, and making sure that you're not out there and stuck in that kind of stuff is what it is. So it's like the same exact thing with the whole, turn around, don't drown stuff, because that's the thing. People are fucking dumb, dude. Like, I cannot tell you how many times I've seen people try to drive through water where they thought it was like a foot or two deep or whatever at most, and it just submerges, it completely submerges their fucking vehicle, dude, because they're dumb as shit. They don't understand that where they're driving into is a fucking downhill slope thing, and so you basically have this water that's like 10 feet down, basically, that's like come up a little bit or whatever. It's like 6-7 feet deep is what it is then. And so they're driving like 3 or 4 feet down into a ravine kind of thing is what it is there, and it's just like driving directly into it, man, is what it is. And then of course they have to waste fucking taxpayer resources to go and save their dumbasses is what it is, dude. And honestly, it's kind of funny though, because if you look at that particular thing of it, dude, we could easily just have Darwin Awards at this point and be like, nope, sorry, fuck you. You don't get to do that anymore, dude. Nobody's coming to save your dumbass. Fuck off. Interesting. A gay pride parade in Australia got, quote, messy. So these are people lecturing on climate change. Yeah, they just left a bunch of trash all over the fucking road is what it was, dude. And over vehicles and everything else like that. That's the thing, too. It reminds me of all these other leftists, too, for that matter, that have done that shit in the past as well, where you've had, what was it now? It was, I'm trying to remember what the event was now. It was one of the 2020 ones with, like, BLM, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or whatever. And it was them basically bitching and moaning about stuff. And instead of actually cleaning up after themselves, what they would do is you had, like, 50 to 200 people, whatever, out there doing stuff, whatever. And they were all putting their coffee cups and shit into a trash can or whatever, like just dumping the shit over there, just like tossing it or whatever, to the point where it was like obviously overflowing. And you had other people coming up there and they were like taking their own coffee cup and like trying to like shove it down into the pile basically. And it's like, or you could just take it with you, another empty fucking can, you moron. Like, Jesus Christ. But that's the problem with lazy people, is what it is. And actually, in some cases, what people would actually do is they would, if depending on how close they were to their own places, what it is in that city or whatever the case is there, they would go back to their own apartment, get a couple of trash bags, come back out there, and put another fucking trash bag into the damn trash can, and take the old one out and just set it next to it is what it is then, dude, and make sure it's all closed up and ready to be taken then. So, which really, I think in some cases like that, it's a mix of both those things. Obviously, it's a mix both of people being lazy pieces of shit and just littering dicks is what it is. But it's also city mismanagement by Democrats in many cases, because you look at all these major cities in this country where this happens at, it's always Democrat-run places what it is, dude. And instead of actually thinking ahead and being like, okay, there's going to be like 500 people after this thing, whatever the case be, like maybe we should, I don't know, have some extra trash cans put out there, or even for that same vein of things, have actual city employees on the fucking clock that day to go around and collect the trash and refill the cans with empty bags, and is what it is. But that's the thing, they don't think about that kind of shit. And then they wonder why they're shitty as a fucking shithole is what it is, dude. Actually, I saw a good one today is what it was. And it was talking about the 10 unhappiest cities in America or whatever. And it's funny because at least 3 of them were here in Ohio. Yeah, it was Cleveland, Toledo, and Akron was the other one. Yeah. Yeah, here it is. It's and I'd like to point something out, that all 3 of those cities are run by mayors, or run by Democrat mayors. Specifically, at least 2 of them that I know of, which would be Cleveland and Akron are minority mayors, with Cleveland being Justin Bibb, a black Democrat, and Akron being Seamus Malik, the first quote-unquote Muslim American Democrat. So I'm not sure who Toledo mayor is right now. I think they might also be minority now I'm thinking about it. So let me go look that up real quick, actually. Toledo mayor. Oh, no, it's an ugly-ass white dude. Okay. But he's still a Democrat. And, of course, he was born in California. So there you go. So there is that, man. So, yeah, Democrat Party's just shit across every race is what it is, dude, for real. Anyway. Yeah, it said 10 least happiest cities by analysis. Detroit, Michigan, Cleveland, Ohio, Montgomery, Alabama, Birmingham, Alabama, Shreveport, Louisiana, Huntington, West Virginia, Toledo, Ohio, Jackson, Mississippi, Mobile, Alabama, and Akron, Ohio. So let me go ahead and look and see exactly who runs these places. Let's go ahead and do that fucking analysis right now, all right? Let's go ahead and look up the mayors of these fucking cities right now, dude. And see what comes up then. Okay, let's see. We got Mike Dugan, who's a Democrat. Okay, so that's one. And then we got Cleveland, Justin Bibb's dumbass, who's a Democrat. And then we got, what was the third one on that one? So we got 2 Democrats so far. So we got Montgomery, Alabama. So let's see, Montgomery, Alabama mayor. Another Democrat named Stephen Reed. Okay, so that's 3 for 3 right now. So let's see. Then we got Birmingham, Alabama. So let's see. So Birmingham mayor. Randall Woodfin, another Democrat. Oh my God, shocker. Are we seeing a pattern yet, people? Because I am. I'm definitely seeing a pattern right now. Let's see. Then we got Shreveport, Louisiana. So we got Shreveport mayor. Okay, so we actually broke from the fucking stride right now. Shreveport, Louisiana is a guy named Tom Cox. He's been in power for about a year and a half or so, give or take. And he's a Republican, but he could be a rhino. So far, out of the first 5, 1 to 4 are all Democrats. Number 5 is a Republican, supposedly. Okay, so let's go to Huntington, West Virginia. West Virginia mayor. Okay, and now we got Stephen T. Williams, who's a Democrat since 2013. He's been in that mayor's office since then. Okay, so that's 5 of 6 right now are Democrats. And then, like I said, we go to Toledo, Ohio, which is Wade's ass here, who's a Democrat. And then we go, let's see, Jackson, Mississippi. So Jackson, Mississippi mayor. I don't know how to pronounce this fucking guy's name. Is this guy even American? Jesus Christ, man. Chokwe Entar. Jesus Christ, bro. He's a Democrat, though. That's all I'm just about at the end of the day. So let's see. So we are literally 1 for 8. That's a Republican currently. So let's see. Mobile, Alabama mayor, Sandy Stimson. Okay, so this guy's a Republican. So we got two of 9 right now that are Republicans. That being said, again, this guy's been mayor since 2013, so over a decade then. Again, stop voting for the same jackasses again and again. And then now, finally, we already know what number 10 is going to be, man. Which is good old Seamus Malik, the brand new idiot mayor of Akron. Before him, it was Dan Horrigan. They were both Democrats, by the way. That guy looks like a fuck. This dude looks like a fucking nut job in that picture, dude. He looks like a fucking guy that's like just got a lobotomy or something a couple days ago. Like, his eyes definitely look fucked up, man. Like, he's got, like, some kind of weird disease or something like that. Or maybe it's just, like, psychosis or something. But yeah, this guy's definitely got some fucking issues, man, for sure. So, but yeah, he's a fucking moron, though. Only been in power for a couple months right now, and he's already fucking the place up yet. So, but yeah, I find that very interesting, though. So we got 2 of 10, which would be Shreveport, Louisiana, and Jackson, Mississippi, are run by Republicans. The other 8 of 10 are run by fucking Democrats, dude. So literally 4/5, 80% of the fucking places that are the unhappiest cities to live in are all run by Democrats. So it's kind of funny, man. Kind of funny on that one. You can't help but tell the truth with that one, man. So anyway, but let's see about this one right here. So I do want to look up and see what this is about here right now. This is a 3-minute video here. See, it says American family gets home from grocery store, unloads groceries, and 3 Spanish speakers approach them. They put guns to their heads, forced everyone inside, shot the husband in the foot, and robbed them. Right before this happened, a neighbor was shot and robbed. Buy guns and ammo. This is Biden's America. You are not safe. So let's go ahead and see what I think this is Houston, Texas, if I'm not mistaken. Jesus, dude.
One adult male in his mid-40s that's a homeowner, has a family, was shot in the foot while he was being robbed.
Ridiculous.
Actually, some individuals that were trying to get him and his family into the house. They had gotten home from getting groceries. And there was two men we know for sure, possibly 3, that were masked up, most likely Hispanic, they believe.
So here's my problem with that whole thing, right? This is Houston, Texas, by the way, this happened as far as I'm aware, because the guy's thing says Houston on it. Bro, Texas is a constitutional carry state, for God's sakes. Fucking carry with you. Like, seriously, the best advice that this guy, the Wall Street Apes guy gave was the truth. Buy guns and ammo. Be fucking armed. Shit. I'm sitting here right now at the fucking house, dude, and I have at least 2 guns within arm's reach right now. I'm obviously not going to show them on camera because YouTube's fucking dumbass policies and live streams and stuff like that. But still, the whole point is, it's like, yeah, if somebody breaks into my place right now, I can literally have a gun in my fucking hand within like 3 seconds, basically, is what it is. All I have to do is reach out and I'll fucking have something in my hand then, dude. And it's as simple as literally flipping off a fucking selector switch or popping down a fucking safety, and I'm ready to fucking roll, baby. So, anyway.
We spoke Spanish, and our complainant speaks Spanish. So our complainants got home from the grocery store.
Huh.
They were unloading groceries, the whole family. These men came out from the side.
Interesting. So what it sounds like to me is that you had illegal aliens robbing legal immigrants into this country because they were all Spanish-speaking people, what it is. Very interesting.
To the yard, approached them. One had a rifle, one had a pistol. Put guns to their heads. Ended up shooting the father, mid-40s, old man in the foot. Tried to force everybody into the house. That's where the father started fighting at that point. Tried to kick the door shut.
Yeah, he should have his own gun.
One of the suspects shot another round into the house through the door, and I guess that's when the suspects got spooked and they ran on foot. Now, right before that happened, there was another male that was shot. That's actually the neighbor of our victims that got robbed. They literally live right next door.
Jesus,
and
dude.
What we believe happened on that is right before that robbery occurred. The individual that got shot on this one is a 21-year-old male who was shot through the back, but he was actually driving a vehicle. He was driving a little sedan, and he was pulling in front of his house, which is next door to the folks that got robbed. And this happened right before the robbery. So as they're getting home, him and his girlfriend, they pull up and they see there's a black sedan parked in front of their driveway. So they kind of have to do a U-turn and park behind that car. When they park behind that car, the car starts to back up like it's going to hit them. And then that's when they also see some people in the bushes that we believe did the robbery at the house next door. when they see that, they obviously know something's up. So he starts to he tries to take off. The 21-year-old is driving in a sedan, and his girlfriend's next to him. They take off. They end up sideswiping that black sedan, which we believe is the getaway car for those.
It's probably stolen too, is my guess.
As he's taking off, they shoot at him, and that one round goes to the back of the car and hits the driver, which is the 21-year-old male in the back. They drive away as fast as they can. The girlfriend takes over and ends up driving to a local hospital.
Wow.
Where he's treated, and he's in critical condition, but he's there right now. So prayers for them. So this all happened, bam, bam, right after each other. So, like, again, the neighbors, the male and the female pulled up. They saw people in the yard. They saw the sedan. They took off. They got shot at, and then evidently right in between that time is when the neighbors were getting home.
Wow.
And unloaded groceries and evidently didn't see that happen and didn't know there were people on the side of the yard. And when they pulled up, they got robbed. And the one male got shot in the foot. So a lot to that. Investigators will.
Fucking crazy, man. Who's this? Like, it's hard to say if that's a targeted hit, maybe even for that matter. And it was just like a crime opportunity if that'd be the case with that family, maybe. But then again, it could just be they're just robbing entire areas there is what it is, man. I mean, hell, look at fucking Michigan there, Detroit area. I heard a couple weeks ago there was various stories coming out of there where it was a bunch of illegals doing like literally like mob gang stuff is what it is there. Where it's like, you know, mobs of like 10, 15 people, whatever it is there, robbing high-end homes and stuff in that area, dude. And they're literally going, you know, 10, 15 people deep is what it is then. All armed up with whether it be illegally possessed guns or whether it be, you know, clubs, bats, etc. there. And just strong-arming their way into these fucking homes, dude, and stealing what they can. And either killing the homeowner or fucking them up or whatever the case be then. And it makes sense when you think about it, logistically speaking, because, again, we already know for a fact you've had that fucker Nicolas Morado in Venezuela empty out the fucking Venezuelan prisons and send them all here to America. And now they're talking about, oh, you can't send them back to us. Fuck that, dude. We'll parachute their asses right back on top of your fucking empire, you piece of shit. Hell, I was watching Ernest Goes to Camp last night. We'll do it like they did with the fucking turtles, man. We'll just parachute the fucking dudes in there and stuff like that is what it is. So, but anyway. Yeah, it's a bunch of shit, dude, entirely. It's fucking disgusting is what it is, man. Our country has definitely gone to a point right now of just fucked up shit, man. Yeah, somebody pointed out here in the comment section there about the sheriff here in Ohio, Richard T. Jones, Butler County Sheriff, sounds the alarm. This is from February 8th, so it's almost a month ago now, said recently came back from a conference in Washington, D.C. with head of FBI Director Christopher Wray. So director stated, quote, there are more red flags than before 9/11. Biden administration is refusing to meet with 3,300 sheriffs across the country and the police chiefs to talk about rising crime and the border crisis.
2 days ago, we were briefed by the FBI director, Ray, the director of the FBI, and several federal agencies. There's 3,300 sheriffs in the United States. The President of the United States refuses to meet with the sheriffs of the 3,300. We have a hierarchy. We have a president. We have a vice president. The President of the United States refuses to meet with the sheriffs.
Of course he does.
He also refuses to meet with the police chiefs of the United States. They have a hierarchy also.
I agree with what this guy said a month ago. Highly surprised we haven't had an attack yet. The thing is, though, who's to say we haven't, man? Right? Like, who's to say that some of these so-called mass shootings that have happened recently aren't fucking cartels and shit doing this stuff on our soil, dude? Aren't fucking various Venezuelan gangs and stuff doing this shit on our soil right now? And like I said, I honestly believe, truthfully, right now, there's a power structure going on right now in this whole thing, dude. And I think 100% what we are experiencing currently is legitimately sleeper cells just waiting for an activation code. And who's to say it's not going to be fucking Biden or Kamala or somebody going on TV one day in the near future and stuff? Or it might not be them for that matter. It might be somebody else for that matter within the fucking Democrat Party or something. Or even some rhino sack of shit for that matter, like Mitt Romney or somebody like that. And they just like say some weird phrase and it doesn't sound like it's like them talking or whatever. And it's like some weird phrase in the that's one of the sentences they say or whatever. And people are like, what the fuck? And it turns out like that's the activation code for like all the sleeper cells across this country now. And then, yeah, it wouldn't just be one attack at that point. It would be, I'm guessing, dozens, if not hundreds in that one day is what it is then, dude. Possibly even thousands for that matter. Like, you're talking about that one season at 24 where you had the Islamic terrorists and stuff like that and that family being part of that sleeper cell and shit like that's what it is, dude. You're talking about that stuff, but, like, expand that stuff out at a massive scale, man, where it's like, you know, like, that's one. But think about, like, you know, several thousand now that are just waiting to be activated. And it would be foreign standing armies at that point, man. And it's just crazy to think about this shit. And then what's even crazier is that almost nobody wants to talk about it except for like one county sheriff here in Ohio. By the way, there's 88 different counties in Ohio. 87 of them don't apparently give a fuck. Only Richard T. Jones does. Only the Butler County Sheriff does. Enough to actually warn the American people and be like, hold a fucking presser and be like, yeah, man, like, there's some scary fucking shit right now going on. So, anyway. But yeah, it's fucking wild, man. It really is. Like I said, we are just heading towards a fucked up time in history right now, man, where like up is down, left is right, dogs are kissing cats. All that kind of stuff, man. And I don't think people are expecting what's going to happen, man. Like, I believe truthfully more and more. And I definitely think we are heading towards a precipice of like a very, very bad time in history. And I think more and more, honestly, like there was a YouTube channel here on this site. I think it's like ethical preparedness or something. I don't know if he still does stuff or not there, but there was a few years ago he had made like some like it was like maker and adventure thing or whatever the case be, and he laid out some like various scenarios and stuff like that. And one of them was basically terrorist attacks in this country. And I'll tell you what, like more and more, it makes me think like that particular scenario he laid out in that one is exactly what we're about to experience in this nation, dude. And the feds don't even give a fuck about it because why would they, man? When they're actively deleting fucking Islamic terrorists' files for years now, just so that they can put people like me in a fucking database and come after me for fucking thought crimes for fuckhead Andrew Yang 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago now. Because I said a what if scenario about shit. Where they knew for a fact that's what it was when they fucking admitted to my face when they were leaving. Oh, we wasted 6 days on this. Yeah, you wasted 6 days on me that your fucking piece of shit asses could have spent in city of fucking Columbus investigating a fucking terrorist mosque down there that had over 100 failed and successful terrorist attacks tied to it at that point in time in history almost 5 years ago now. I would hate to think how many more are tied to it now, dude. I'm guessing it's several hundred at this point, honestly, if not 1,000 for that matter. And it's right by Ohio State's campus, from my understanding, is what it is there. So, you know, I have no idea how close it is to the campus, but I just know it's in that area from what I've been told over the years. So, anyway. But yeah, that's the whole point, though, dude. It's like, yeah, how about actually dealing with the people who are an actual domestic terrorist threat in this country, dude? It's not fucking white men like me. It's a bunch of fucking Arabic motherfuckers who don't even belong here in the fucking first place, dude. It's a bunch of fucking third worlders from fucking every other goddamn nation that are waving their fucking flags while they're crossing into our fucking borders, dude. Hell, there was a bunch of assholes the other day doing some fucking pro-Palestine bullshit, and I'm not sure exactly what place this was at, but it had a flagpole on it. They literally did the flagpole down to yank the American flag off and fucking raise a Palestinian flag into place, dude. Like, how the fuck is that not high treason at that point, man? Like, why the fuck are any of these people still alive right now? Seriously. You are actively trying to take over this fucking country. The day of reckoning is coming, motherfuckers. Like, know that right now, leftists. The day of reckoning is fucking coming in this country. When you fuckers eventually take us to that point where you make sure that fucking civil war goes hot in this country, just know, you may have a little bit of arms, but guess what, motherfuckers? Everybody else on the right side of history is way the fuck more well armed than your dumbass is. And we have a lot of fucking weapons, we have a lot of fucking ammo, we have a lot of fucking food and water stocks, etc. Medical supplies, all that stuff, dude. And your dumbass will maybe have a gun or something with you. If even that, for that matter. You know, you may have the mob rule, but guess what, dude? Shit does a lot to take down motherfuckers, what it is, dude. And it's simple as that, man. That's why all you fuckers are go after AR-15s and AK-47s and stuff like that all the time. Because you know for a fact, if you're trying to... Hell, we've seen it before many times with fucking, you know, strong arm robberies, home invasions, etc. there, man. Where you have 6-8 people trying to run into some dude's house is what it is. That dude pulls a fucking AK or an AR, whatever the case be, starts shooting back. It might not even be a guy for that matter. It might be a chick in some cases, actually, because we've seen those a couple times before, too, for that matter, dude. And yeah, they'll pop off a couple rounds at the fucking people there, maybe hit some guy in the shoulder or whatever it is there. And you got like 10 motherfuckers going running then. Or hell, it could be something like that one old man in California a couple years ago now, where he saw the fucking criminals coming in there with their fucking ARs is what it was there, and pulls out his big old fucking shotgun and just fucking blasts the fucking round at the one guy walking through the door. And the guy's just like, oh, he shot my arm off. And then they're trying to basically drive away without his dumb ass is what it is. And yeah, they end up catching like 3 of them on like various fucking weapons charges and stuff. Because they're already felons in possession of firearms at that point, dude. So they already committed multiple felonies before that to be on disability, to then have more fucking guns that they shouldn't have had in the first place. Again, it's not legal gun owners in this country that are the problem. It's the fucking criminal pieces of shit, in many cases being young minorities, for that matter, that are committing most of the fucking crime in this country, that are the fucking issue, dude. Stop allowing these fuckers to become repeat offenders by simply slapping them with a fucking 1 strike to begin with, to where they don't get back out again in fucking a year or 2 is what it is then. Stop cutting them fucking plea bargains. Stop letting them fucking plea down from a fucking firearms charge to some bullshit fucking drug charge that's going to be like half the fucking time or a quarter of the fucking time, man. No. Slap them with fucking everything at that point. Hit them with the drug charge and the fucking firearms charge. And everything else for that matter. If you can throw another fucking charge at them that puts them in there for another year or 2, do that shit too then. And make them serve every fucking day of that damn sentence. Don't have fucking like, oh, time served after 2.5 fucking years or whatever. No, dude. If it's a 10, 20-year sentence, then have them serve 10 to fucking 20 years for God's sakes. And keep our fucking streets safe is what it is, man. Like I was saying last night with Tactical Muffin Top, I was watching Black Gen Z Mindsets thing yesterday, and he was mentioning how we're actually getting real close to the point in time in history where we're like early 1990s crime levels again, dude. Before you had the fucking crime bill that Biden and them came up with in 94 is what it was. That basically forced dudes to go to prison for like a little bit of weed for life is what it was kind of shit then. Like, that's a scary situation, bro, to know that. And that's the problem, and it's all by design, dude. It's all by design by the same fucking assholes who were in power back then who shouldn't be in power now is what it is. Seriously, stop voting for career politicians, people. If people have been in power for more than like 10 years, kick them the fuck out. You've had your 10 years, get the fuck gone, bitch. Seriously. Primary these motherfuckers if you have to, for God's sakes. Do what needs to be done to get rid of their fucking asses, man. So. That's interesting. This guy was supposed to be a former congressman, was talking about Israel getting $15 billion a year from the U.S. annually. Probably. Wouldn't be surprised by it. Yeah, then people were showing Larkin Riley and her roommate before she was murdered by that illegal is what it is here, and they were just having fun. Yeah, it's just a compilation of her having fun and stuff. God, she was a hot piece of ass, dude. I totally see why that illegal guy went after her to try to rape her and kill her then, dude. Because she was a very good-looking female. And that's the problem, man. Like, and again, that fucking illegal shit never been on our damn streets to begin with, dude. Should have never fucking been on our streets to begin with at all. And thanks to Biden's dumbass fucking policies and fucking dumbass Democrats in power, you literally have these fucking people being murked out like crazy, dude. Huh. I don't know if this is actually a true stat here. This is an interesting one, though. It says 97% of all guns are in the red territory. 97% of all gun violence is in the blue territory. Well, like Matt was saying the other day on NEA was saying on one of his chats the other day, actually, where he was talking about it. He was saying how it was right now with the way that America is, how we are considered to be in I forget what the actual thing is right now for like overall gun crime, I think is what it is, or something like that. And it shows exactly how much things we have is what it is there. And it was if you take out like these 10 places is what it is that are like all Democrat run areas and stuff. It's like major cities in this country. We go from like, I think it's like the top 10 or whatever of like the most violent firearms related crime and stuff in this country to like 150th or something like that's what it is then, or something like that. Maybe 124 or something like that is what it is. But yeah, it's like over 100 down in the list is what it is then, dude. From being in the top 10, just from these 10 fucking major cities, what it is then. And again, like I said, the problem in this country is fucking Democrats, dude. It's the Democrat Party entirely. It's the fucking idiots in these positions of power that aren't doing a damn thing to actually address the real fucking problem in this in their states and in their country, in their cities and stuff like that. That's what it is there in this country. It's they want to sit there and push this bullshit narrative so they can sit there and try to steal our gun rights again. That's what it is, dude. And be like, oh no, it's the firearms that are the problem. It's like, no, it's not, dude. It's the fucking idiot with the fucking gun in their hand that's the problem. It's the criminal that has the fucking gun legally possessed in their hand. That's the fucking problem right now. You know, it's like that skit that Babylon Bee did the other day where it was this guy talking about being assaulted by an AR or whatever the case be. And the woman's like, no, it's the person behind the gun. And then she like pulls up the fucking gun or whatever the case be. And he's like, oh my God, it's going on its own again. And it's like, this is the leftist shit, man, for real. Like in real time. Like it's mind boggling is what it is, dude. And it's just pathetic in many cases what it is too, for that matter. So, yeah, I don't know what the solution is at this point, honestly. My best guess, honestly, is the solution that's going to be coming to us very soon will be a civil war in this nation that may or may not become an actual, like, American war, basically, because it's going to be us versus illegals and stuff in many cases. And it'll be like Americans versus a bunch of sleeper cell terrorists that have no business being in our country in the first place, is what it is there, man. So, yeah, I don't know. I know there's going to be tribalistic warfare in it for sure. And I definitely think it's going to have to be, you know, it's like that episode of Walking Dead in I think it might be the first episode of season 5 in that show, actually, where it's Rick and all those guys escaping Terminus and stuff. And it's him and Glenn and everybody like hiding behind something or whatever. And then they see all like the Terminus people coming by with their, you know, AKs, ARs, etc. there. And he just like walks up behind the one guy and like, you know, knifes this dude in the fucking neck, whatever the case be, and grabs his fucking AK out of his hand real quick. And he's just like, and just like fucking sprays line everybody else in front of him. That's what it is. That might be the actual solution when it's all said and done to like deal with these fucking illegals in our country, dude. If you have these people that, you know, don't know where you're at or whatever the case be, it's like fucking ambush attacks basically. It'll be then. And you just, you know, run up behind them with a fucking blade and just be like, across the fucking neck or something like that, or, you know, into the fucking neck, whatever it is, dude. And they just grab their shit and it's just like fucking spray a line on the other buddies, what it is then, man. So, or if they have a grenade on their fucking, you know, kid or whatever the case be, you just grab that fucking grenade off and just fucking, you know, pop the pin real quick and just fucking throw it forward, is what it is then, man. So, deal with the situation doesn't need to be dealt with what it is then. So I was actually talking to Duke about it the other day too, for that matter, and we were talking about the that one scene of Black Hawk Down where the one guy from the one unit is taping down their grenade pins and stuff. And yeah, I guess it is specifically so it won't come loose is what it is off your kit or get snagged on something is what it is then, because it is a possibility for that to happen then. So yeah, if it ever does come to that point where we have, if we're in like a real fucked up firefight in this country and we got, various U.S. military backing us with like those kind of arms and stuff, dude, it's like, yeah, always remember to tape down your pins is what it is then on your rig, man, and your kit and stuff like that. So, because you don't want to be the guy that's like, randomly running or whatever the case be, and one comes loose and then it's just like, bye you, I guess. So anyway, but yeah, I don't know, man. I think we're definitely in for a crazy ass time ahead right now. I think we've only seen the beginning of what's about to happen in this country right now this year. And I definitely see, I just envision right now about 2 months, 3 months from now, something happening, George Floyd level shit or whatever the case be again. And riots beginning again at some point in the next couple months. Here's what it'll be, would be my guess. So, and then from there, like, who's to say what's going to pop off there? I mean, it could be, you could have like some crazy sleeper cell terrorism then go on then. And maybe that's what's going to happen. Maybe it's going to be, you'd have like the rioting happen again from like BLM and Antifa types, whatever the case be. And then from there, it would be like one step further. It would be all these illegals there in our country now is what it is. Walking out there with like various fucking explosives and stuff like that, just blowing places up and shit, dude, for all the fuck we know. So, yeah, I don't know. I think anything and everything's on the table right now. And like I said, I'm not fucking, Nostradamus. I can't predict the future and stuff like that. I do have precognitive dreaming off and on is what it is. Haven't had one of those in a while though. But yeah, I can't like look into the future at all and see what's going to happen here, a month from now, a week from now, a day from now, even for that matter. 6 months down the road, I can't see that either. But like I can sit there and, look at the past and look at what we're seeing right now and give my best case scenario of what I think is going to happen this year, honestly. And that's what I'll do right now is what it is. So I hope I'm wrong, honestly. But like I said, it's best to be prepared for the worst possibility is what it is and know exactly what we are facing than to sit here and fuck around and have people who hate our fucking guts in our country and allow them to basically be infiltrators into this nation and not be dealt with accordingly is what it is. Because when the time is all said and done and the shit does hit the fan, it's only a matter of time before we are all in bad shape, man. And I think people are not going to realize it until it's too late right now. And by then it will be too late. And it's not going to be good at all. So, yeah, needless to say, prepare for the best, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Always be ready. As I've said many, many times in these streams, always be fucking armed. Right there is a great example of that video we watched a couple minutes ago there, with that family. They had no idea people were trying to do stuff next to their home is what it is there and hiding in their fucking bushes. They're just, willfully ignorant to the situation, go out, put their groceries away, fucking 3 dudes walking behind them is what it is, and fucking pull guns on them, that's what it is. Shoot the dad in the foot, try to rob him and stuff like that. I'm wondering if maybe they shot him in the foot because they didn't want to kill him is what it is. But even still, like, the fact you're willing to, like, pull the trigger at all, like, shows how truly violent these people are, man. Like, if they wanted to, they could have easily clapped that entire fucking family and it wouldn't have mattered. How long until they do it to the next family and stuff, dude? Like, it is scary fucking times out there, man. And it is getting worse and worse by the day and worse by the minute, even for that matter. So, yeah, like, to not have, the best firearms possible right now, whether that be ARs, AKs, fucking some kind of semi-automatic rifle and stuff, as well as a bunch of good handguns like that, Like, now is the time to get prepared, people. You have that time. You have this small window right now to get at least armed up against these fucking criminal elements in our country. And if nothing else, at the same time, hopefully you can have the money together to actually get a little bit of food and water stocks too, for that matter, to be at least prepared for something like that. Is what it is then, for the eventual collapse. Because God forbid, something does pop off. You try to go to the grocery store, dude. It's gonna be you and like 100 fucking other people fight. It's gonna be like you and that woman basically in Colorado there, where you have the illegals, running up in there and fucking just like shoving her out of the way and grabbing everything they can and running back out. That's what it is. And who's to say that wouldn't be used as like a fucking point of a terrorist attack or something? That'd be the case, man. Would be like food banks or even like grocery stores for that matter. Like, that's exactly why you should be prepared now and have like foodstuffs on hand now, so that if shit does go south, you can know exactly what to do and be prepared. Not have to leave the fucking house, not have to leave the fucking area, not have to leave your, bug out location, whatever it is there. So anyway, that's about it for today, though. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll be back in a couple hours with Honda and Company for his Gay Frog chat tonight, and we'll discuss whatever then with him. I'll probably bring up the topic of that thing in Houston, Texas again to see if we want to talk about that or not, but now crazy shit's going to be popping off here and there is what it is then. So yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see though, but yeah, shit's getting wild, man. Shit's getting real fucking crazy right now, and now is the time to be prepared. Now is the time to get mentally prepared and physically prepared before something does happen. And if you're not doing either one of those things right now, you're just a liability when things do pop off. You're just going to be another statistic. You're just going to be another casualty of war when the actual war does start. Don't be that person. Be ready, be armed, be ready to go. Be mentally fit and ready to roll out. And it's as simple as that. Have a good one, y'all. Later.